MXC is up 200% in this week alone, and for good reason. There are incredible news and there is some data that might be interesting that most people are not looking at. So here's the rally I'm talking about. We are currently up 60% today alone. In this week, we made gains by 192%. And all of this is happening because of this nice funding round. 10 million go into MXC. Now the 10 million are interesting because of two things. First of all, the fully diluted market cap of the token is only 70 million. So it's quite a lot of funding. Secondly, the money comes from JDI Global that also funded the Helium network and Dymo. And so as you can see from the beginning of this video, I'm not going to bore you with the marketing jazz on the website, but it is important to know that MXC is riding the D-pin wave. I believe there's currently three narratives in this bull run. It's crypto gaming, it's artificial intelligence, and it's D-pin. Now, unfortunately, in the public GitHub repository, so in the place where the programmers submit their code changes, there isn't too much activity for MXC. One update on January 18th of this year, another update on September 14th of last year, another one on July 3rd of last year. So either the place where the real work is going on isn't on GitHub, or that money was dearly needed and the project came to a halt. Either way, it looks like the signs are green now. It looks like there's some potential, especially with that low market cap, 70 million. Now, there are some statistics around MXC and its native blockchain. The numbers aren't that impressive, but there is some usage. We've got around 700 active accounts. The account growth, of course, isn't that important because you don't want to have dead accounts, you want to have active accounts. Here are the new accounts, so there's no accelerated growth. Here are transaction fee metrics. Sometimes we see a bit of a spike, number of transactions, and the transaction success rate. There seems to have been an outage around October of last year. Now, there are some oddities here, right? Especially this tagline. Is MXC really the largest D-pin infrastructure on Arbitrum? There's a token on Ethereum with 30,000 holders. The equivalent token on Arbitrum has only 5 holders for whatever reason. Let's see who's actually causing this rally. Is this now the smart money? Is this the whales that are buying? Or is this already retail driven? To answer that question, I have built a tool and I make that tool available to the premium members. It's thebitcoinstrader.com. The link is down below. On the left side, we see the number of wallets that hold at least 10,000 MXC tokens. At the current price, that's $264. For the middle chart, we go at 10x from that. That's now $2,600. For the right chart, we look at the whales. That's $26,000 worth of the token minimum. There is no real long-term accumulation here. Those charts start in 2018, and usually we'd see much more growth here for most cryptocurrencies. Not so for MXC. Here are the same kind of charts, but for the last month only. Again, the number of holders isn't growing for any cohort. In other words, this is not a rally driven by a lot of people. This is driven by a few key players that accumulate heavily. The liquidity on chain is rather abysmal. It's 200K in total. And so a lot of trading happens on centralized exchanges. And that's maybe where this is coming from. Professional traders on OKX and on Gate.io might be accumulating here. And that's probably the reason why we do not see this on chain, right? This is simply purchased through the centralized exchanges. Here is the token ownership on chain. There are two massive wallets, which are smart contract wallets, and there are some other larger wallets. This is probably owned by the centralized exchanges. The token balances of those large wallets tends to go up. So overall, the heavyweights are accumulating, and that's probably where the demand is coming from after those very, very positive news. I will buy some MXC as well. I say I will, not I have, because I never front run you guys, right? I always buy after publishing a video, several hours after publishing a video. I never buy before because I don't want to dump on the audience. I don't like this conflict of interest. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. If you've got Telegram, feel free to join us. Link is down below.